we have definitely had a shift. There's a lot of leaves on the ground. That's probably mostly due to the drought, but that's a lot of leaves that fell overnight. And what also fell is the temperature. It's at least 10 degrees, but more, as far as the index is concerned, cooler today than it was yesterday. I'm telling you, if procrastination was an Olympic sport, I would definitely be a medal holder because this whole week, the last week and a half has just flown by, and I feel, other than watering, I've managed to water at least, but other than that, I've just really been a bum. No, I did one other thing in the garden. I've done other things other places, but it's just, I don't know. It's not a garden burnout per se. It's just like a life burnout, which I get like every so often. I go through like ebbs and flows of feeling motivated and not feeling motivated. But yeah, the garden has taken the back seat for sure. But today is not one of those days, or at least this next 20 minutes. I am going to harvest the tomatoes that are ready for sure. So I'm excited. I'm gonna try to separate some out so that I can do a proper taste test, which I've always wanted to do, but either never had enough fruit to do it or never had the like mental capacity to write it all down. So I have paper and pencil to try and separate things out. And then it's time to start freezing these to prepare for, canning down the line. So yeah, I'm excited. So let's go. So the first one up is Paul Robeson. I told myself to get snips because sometimes I break more of the stem than I like, and or the plant, the fruit doesn't want to come out easily. So this is a very good specimen. Come on, focus, of that. So I can write that down. Now this, let's see if we can get a focus there. All right. This is what? So this is a Dr. Wychees, which I'll pull because I broke it. I broke the stem there. It was already compromised. Um, yeah, that's a Dr. Wychee. See that bottom end? It's not blossom end rot. Like I can show you probably some other plants. This is just when the blossoms fuse, they make this, I don't know what it's called. Doesn't look great, but you just cut around it and it's fine. Um, yeah, this is, blushed already. Well, Dr. Wychees is a yellow tomato, so it'll just continue the yellow from there. Let me start writing things down before I get too far into this. See, I like to break it with a little bit of the stem still intact, but that doesn't always happen for me. No, this is Paul Robeson. This was a two planting. All right, next one is a striped Roma. And I've had a couple of these already. Here we go, a blossom end rot. See that? I'm gonna cut that out too, but that's what that looks like. How are we doing here? This one's fine. So usually the first fruits out of a plant tend to get the blossom end rot, particularly the saucing tomatoes. San Marzano gets it all the time for me. Although last year was fine. It's the watering. I know that for sure. NCRD was hit with it. It's one of these. And I mean, you get it here and there. Oh, I see I've lost some fruit over there. That's weird. Anyway, we'll get to that. What was this? This was a striped Roma. And still no fruit on the striped German. That's so bizarre. Hopefully, now that the weather's cooling down, I see flowers. Maybe we'll still get a fruit or two out of that one. So, knock on wood, we haven't seen any damage from like a hornworm situation, but we are getting something eating the tomato. Um, I guess it could be a kind of mouse or squirrel, but it's odd that it would pick the fruit that it picks. So this one can go to the chickens. See, these just don't want to break off. Oh, there we go. That can go to the chickens. So this plant is the Ananas Noir. Yay! No, wait, is it? Gotta make sure I'm not crossing the stems here. This is the Ananas Noir. Let's see if we have any. Okay. Come on. Oh, jeez, so difficult sometimes. See, here's the bottom of a one single blossom. But when you get a whole bunch of those blossoms, they all make a whole bunch of this brown stuff at the bottom. This one is blushing, so I'm going to take that one too. And I haven't gotten splitting too badly because, well, it hasn't rained that much. And when I do water, I don't water uber much either. All right, let me do some more writing down. Down the line is Black Krim. I've already had one round of some of these plants. The Black Krim never disappoints. It is a great sandwich tomato. It just melts in your mouth. See, I'm surprised that the critter didn't take this because it's already on the ground and it's way more ripe than the one they did take. Bizarre. But I will never not grow Black Krim. This is definitely one of the staples for my yard. And they are nice size tomatoes too. Here's an example of a double blossom. All right, that is a lot of Black Krim right there. I have run out of space on this container, so I'm going to empty this out and then continue on with the rest of the harvest. All right, next up is Black from Tula, another very well performer. I got my snip this time. This is a nice uniform growth. This hunka ones are, what is that one? Rubies, German green, which have started to turn yellow, which means I probably waited a little bit too long on this one, but here we go. This one is a good size. A little bit of a fused blossom, but not too bad. No, let me write this before I forget. This is also, oh my gosh, so two Black from Tula plants. So that is plenty of tomatoes for sure. This one has a bit of cracking. So depending on the water, when it became a problem, you'll either get circular cracking or you'll get the, what's the other one? the lines type of cracking. That, I hope, wait, did I mix that up? No, I think that was all Black from Tula. And then the last one here is Black Seaman. Let's see, make sure. Yep, this is Seaman. This is quite a bit of cracking. This is the end of the bed, so the water here is definitely drier, I think, or the soil, I should say. I've already filled up my container, so I'm just going to take a few of this honey drops, which are very, very delicious. All right, I'm going to put that in the kitchen and come back again. So this little bit is Tropical Sunset, which I'm having a hard time harvesting from that angle, so I'll have to go to the back. Well, I've got quite the behemoth over here. Oh, well, what do you know? The beginning of the end for something. My first hornworm. And it looks like it hasn't done much damage yet. I don't know. It must have just climbed up or something. Let me get you a close up. Looky right there. Little culprit. Now I gotta see if this plant was hurt in any way. Where's my snips? Let me get my snips. Alright, sorry little guy, but not this plant. Get off my plant. Get. Oh, yuck. Alright, let's see how we fared with this tomato. Alright, let's open her up. See, when you only have one tomato, they get very big, or any produce. There's only one of them. They're not competing. Oh, this is not working out. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So this plant tried to produce flowers early, but of the drought, it fizzled out. Not the drought, but the heat. But there's new flowers at the top. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. So that was a fused blossom for sure. Hasn't been eaten, but that's like maybe 4 flowers that tried to form. This is, what specimen is this? The hillbilly. This is the hillbilly. Crazy. Now, it's never my intent to grow hunka giant tomatoes, but I take what I can get. Over here, it looks like a brandywine. Yeah. Ugh. Nope, there we go. Not bad. Another fused blossom. These next few are the paste, and they've succumbed more to the blossom end rot. So I have had to just cull those, and they're decomposing on the floor there. Is this the Inciardi or more San Marzano? This one is Amish paste. It looks good, but not yet ready. And then this last one is Glacier Bush. So we got a couple of these tinies ready to go. All right. So I don't know the proper scientific term, but there is at least 2 different types of leaves of tomatoes. This is, to me, atypical because to me, this is what tomato leaves look like. So that first one was the Glacier Bush, and the other one that looks like that is the Brandywine. But most tomatoes have this leaf pattern. All right, so we haven't collected any paste tomatoes except for the ones that I threw away, like that one there. What else hasn't come in yet? What is this? This has quite a bit of fruit. Rutgers, I think. Yeah, Rutgers has not come in yet. And this one is very bushy, plant-wise. I'll have to find the name when I get in the house because I can't see it right now. All right, that is the harvest for today. Let's go in the kitchen. Oh, wait. I forgot the volunteers. In this bed, we have two different types, one with much larger fruit than another. So there's this size. And there's that size. So this could be, like, this is the size I originally planted. Who knows when. So this could have been dropped by a bird or some other animal. But either way, these are really good volunteers. So the last plant that I could name was gobstopper, but we also haven't seen any fruit from the pineapple either. So it's those two that are late. I'm surprised about the pineapple because I've usually had better luck with that. The gobstopper, on the other hand, I could care less because the first time I grew that was it 2 years ago? It was not that great. But I had to use up the seeds, so I grew it. So there's like a couple, like this one I harvested a couple days ago. This one was yesterday. So there's like a couple of fruits that I didn't harvest today, but just like maybe not more than a handful. The rest are what we got today. I'm gonna stop the video here. Come back for part 2 where we taste some of these. All right, so I'll harvest more. Bye.